newbie gains, and newbie gains are entirely real.
One, 10,002, and fit.
Alright, what is up guys? Welcome back to Aegis Athletics. In today's video, we're going to be discussing some things that I wish I knew when I started weight training. We're going to be going over some diet tips, some training tips, and some in-depth tips that I think will really benefit you in the long run beginning your fitness journey. And if you guys could, go ahead and smash that like button like these gas prices are smashing your wallet. Let's get into it. Alright, so first things first, protein intake. Protein is easily one of the most important ingredients when you're making muscle. Make sure you have between 0.8 and 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Having enough protein in your body throughout the day and consistently throughout the day is the most important of all. Make sure you intake about 20 to 30 grams of protein every few hours throughout the day. This will actually trigger protein synthesis and will also increase your metabolism. So whether it's vegetarian style proteins, animal proteins, protein shakes, protein bars, make sure you are getting your protein throughout the day. Alright, next on the list is a caloric surplus. Now, regardless of whether you're overweight or underweight or anywhere in between, you're going to need to be in a caloric surplus in order to gain muscle. Now, if you're on the heavier side and you're trying to lose weight, that's a little easier. And say you were a little skinnier like I was when I first started my fitness journey, you're going to want to eat a couple extra to 200 to 500 calories extra a day to make sure you're getting that caloric surplus. And I cannot emphasize how important it is for natural bodybuilders and weightlifters to eat in a caloric surplus if you are trying to gain muscle mass. It is impossible to put on a lot of muscle mass at an efficient rate without a caloric surplus. Your body needs that extra energy in order to protein synthesize your new muscles. Alright, next up on the list, and a little less discussed within the fitness community, your concentric movements and exercises are just important as the eccentric. For example, a bicep curl. Most people think that the upward movement is what's going to increase the size of your bicep, but it is both the eccentric and concentric. That upward movement and that downward slowed down movement is what's going to build a muscle group better than anything. Concentrating on just the eccentric or the concentric is not as effective as focusing on both. Moving on, probably one of my favorite is newbie gains, and newbie gains are entirely real.
One, 10,002, and fit.
When you first start your fitness journey, your body goes through quite a rapid response to the newfound exercises, especially when it comes to muscle gain and weight training. Your body, in quite literally 3 to 4 months with consistent exercise and weight training regimens, will absolutely change. Now, granted, this depends on what weight you're at when you're starting your journey. Like I said, I was definitely a thin, skinny fat person when I started. I didn't have much to work with, so when I did go through my beginning fitness journey, it was definitely readily apparent. But I want to warn you as well, with those newbie gains comes a plateau of sorts. Your body hyper responds to what you're doing in a rapid manner, and then it kind of slows down. It's just like anything that the body takes on. It's like, I always give the example of a guitar player, a new guitar player, when they're first learning to play the strings and put your fingers on the strings. It hurts, and you eventually build what's called calluses on the tips of your fingers. Now, those calluses protect your fingers from the pain and the damage that the strings cause, and it builds strength over time. And the more and more you practice with the guitar, those calluses almost kind of go away, and your skin can readily identify the problem without having to build those calluses anymore. So you do hit a plateau, you do absolutely slow down in your gains, but that's when you really have to push through. Another thing I really want to emphasize with you guys is that rest days are just as important, if not more important, than the exercise days themselves. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean getting a good night's sleep, which is almost impossible for Americans, it seems, but 7 to 9 hours of sleep at night. Yes, 7 to 9. Making sure that you're getting all of your nutrition on those rest days, making sure that you're taking care of yourself on those rest days, you know, like realistically optimizing your body's ability to heal itself from the damage you just did on your muscle gains journey. Now, I personally know people who almost become obsessed with the process and they want to work out 7 days a week, 9 days a week if there was such a thing. But you can't do that. You have to absolutely, especially as a natural weight trainer, in order to build that muscle and to give your body enough time to recover for your next workout. And I'm going to add this in at the end. It kind of goes back to the eccentric and concentric, but I really want to reiterate this and also introduce you to what's called time under tension. So when you're doing an exercise, doesn't matter what it is, whether it's an overhead press, bicep curls, squats, deadlifts, you're going to have what's called time under tension. So for each rep, that individual repetition to be around 3 seconds long for a 10 rep set.
Or the time under tension of the muscle. So when I curl and I do 1 and 2 and every rep I count, it doesn't really matter how many you're doing. What matters is how long it takes to do them.
But the longer you have your muscles under that tension, whether it's eccentric or concentric, you are going to be damaging the muscle group that you are working. And in particular, say you're doing a shoulder press, you're working multiple muscle groups, you really want to get a deep carve into those muscle fibers so that your body can repair them on those rest days. That's it for today's video, guys. I hope you were able to pick up something from that. If you guys have any questions, concerns, let me know in the comments down below. Also, make sure to smash that like button like I said in the beginning of the video. Make sure to subscribe if you are new and turn on that notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.